truth seekers. Welcome back. Zach here. I want to talk about belief. The word believe, the word with the lie right in the middle. The word believe has a gematria of 33, and of course, it has the word lie right in the middle. The powers that be, the powers that shouldn't be, the Freemasons who've built our English language, who've built it on the ancient code of gematria. This number 33, they have used all throughout history to steer the masses, to implant false ideas, false fear. It's all about control, making people believe in lies to control them. And once upon a time, when I was a younger man, when I was 18 years old, just after September 11th, I started to realize the power of belief within the minds of the masses, the people who lived around me, my friends, my family, my acquaintances, the people I was going to school with. I was a freshman in college when September 11th happened. But let me read this quote real quick from Carl Sagan. You can't convince a believer of anything, for their belief is not based on evidence. It's based on a deep-seated need to believe. And I learned just how real this was right after September 11th, because I saw what was presented to us on that day, and I knew we had been lied to. We had been given a false story, an agenda-based story. It was clear it was about making war, changing this nation, taking away our rights, making it easier to control and spy on a growing population, which we are. The reason I found this to be the reality with belief was because of things like this. I would say to people, I'd say, did you watch the news on September 11th? Because I watched the news that day, and I still remember later in the day, the evening time after I was done with my classes that day, we had to go to school on September 11th. Part of the reason I knew it couldn't have been that big of a deal, otherwise they would have kept us in. But anyway, people were saying, or I was saying, the news is reporting that there's been these planes. They've hit the towers. One's crashed in Pennsylvania. Another's flown into the Pentagon. And they're saying on the news that they can't recover the planes. They can't find the planes. They can't find the passengers. They can't find the luggage. But at the same time, they're reporting that they have found the passports of the terrorists. Imagine that. They're saying they found turbans. They reported on television that they found cloth turbans, like some Muslim men wear in the Middle East. And they said that they found box cutter knives, which were used by the terrorists to hijack the planes. I mean, just think about it. How do they know that box cutter knives were used to hijack the planes when they can't even find the planes, they can't find the luggage, they can't find the people on the plane? The details made no sense, but they were trying to paint this image right away, that it was Islamic extremism, it was led by Osama bin Laden, who was living in the caves of Afghanistan. They were telling you all this. They had all this narrative ready to roll out, but they couldn't find the planes. And I just said, no way, that doesn't make any sense. The planes couldn't be missing, but they found paper passports, cloth turbans, and chintzy little box cutter knives. This story's all bullshit. And everyone that I said that to, and I mean everyone, they gave me a funny look. They called me conspiracy theorist. They'd say things like, there's no way the media could lie about this and get away with it. Somebody would speak out. Everything everyone was saying back to me was based on belief. They didn't have any reasoning or logic or anything factual in what they were saying. They were just believing that the news is the truth, the news is the authority, the news couldn't report lies and get away with it. Everything they were saying was based in belief. And everything most people have been saying ever since that day has been based in belief. Another thing, over the years, talking to people, trying to wake them up to the lies of 9/11 and more. 9/11 truth has been my thing since I was 18. The majority of my work on this channel, it all comes back to 9/11 and how the media falsely terrorizes people with made-up stories, 100% propaganda. Over the years, this has also happened. I've been explaining to people about Building 7, talking to groups of people, and somebody will say, I've never heard of this Building 7 before, and then somebody else behind them will go, yeah, I never heard of this Building 7. And I'll say, well, look it up. Building 7, it fell on 9/11. It was the third building to fall. Fell for no reason 8 hours after the other towers. Wasn't hit by any planes. The only 3 buildings to fall in the history of man that were steel frame construction to fall from fires, as reported, are the buildings on 9/11. And one of those 3 buildings, Building 7. But anyway, the majority of people, and they say in the U.S., the majority of the population still doesn't know about Building 7. But over the years, so many people have said, I never heard of Building 7. I don't think you got your facts right. I've never heard that before. Again, I was telling them something factual, but because they hadn't heard it, they didn't want to believe what I was saying. And what I was saying wasn't belief-based. I was saying something based in fact and evidence that historically happened. I was telling people that the BBC that day, September 11th, reported that Building 7 fell about a half hour before it actually fell. The BBC knew that this building that had no reason to fall had fallen. They reported that it fell a half hour before it fell. So anyway, I've been telling people about all these things for all this time, and it's always come back to belief. People don't want to believe what I'm saying. They want to believe that their media would never lie to them. They don't even want to know the facts. They don't even want to investigate or think about it or use their logic and reasoning skills in their brain that God gave them. They just want to go back to what's believable, what's convenient, what they've been told to believe. You know? That's why I say belief is a bad word. You know, sometimes there's some things you got to believe in. Sometimes you got to believe in yourself to get out of a really bad situation. But believing in things that can't be proven and then using that belief to divide, to dismiss, there's nothing beneficial about it. Belief is what is used to control you by the powers that shouldn't be. So here's another good quote. It's easier to fool people than to convince them that they have been fooled. September 11th, people were duped purposefully. And a lot of people bought into it. They believed the lie. And because they believed the lie, they didn't ever want to go against it. They'd already chosen to believe it. They didn't want to admit that they'd been duped. Look at what I've been doing for more than 3 years. I've been exposing the lies that so many people are invested in this world. You know, the television, September 11th, the false flags ongoing, the Zionist media trying to create the image and the mindset of the masses that Islam's a dangerous religion. Islamic people are a threat. These are all false beliefs being perpetrated by our media. And so many people have fallen for them hook, line, and sinker because they trust the wrong people. They trust the liars in charge. So these 2 quotes, they account for so many people's cognitive dissonance. The reason so many people refuse to seek truth or to take on the truth. For the second time in recent weeks, I have made an attempt to reach the flat earth community because the flat earth community is a belief-based community that is causing all sorts of needless division in a truth community that isn't large enough, that hasn't attracted enough people, and now isn't working together as well as it should. And I know just how detrimental this belief-based flat earth thing has been. 2 years ago, before it came along, I was doing this research. There were a lot of people who were helping me with this research, who were applying gematria, who were helping make my videos better. I had a network of people helping me. Then this flat earth thing came, and there were a number of people who were helping me out who said, hey, Zach, how come you're not doing any videos supporting the flat earth? And I said, oh, that's not my thing. Right now the house is on fire. I don't want to debate about what shape the house is. The house is on fire. We're being lied to. Wars are going on. Laws are being changed. Liberties are being stolen. The skies are being poisoned. The food's becoming more toxic. These are the reasons I speak out, because I see what's going on in this world. Hardcore military police state being built, a world ruled by more lies, more fear. These are the reasons I speak out. These are the reasons I quit my career in education working with children and began working for free full-time, trying to get out the truth, trying to wake up people. You know, how many of you in your life have given up your income, your livelihood, what the people around you think, because you knew it was the right thing to do to speak out? Not many people will do that in this world. There's not many people out here doing what I'm doing. The majority of these people on YouTube who you think are speaking truth, they're being paid to shill and to deceive and to mislead and to create false fear. I've never done that. I've just worked hard for free. And no one's worked harder in the time I've been here. No one's put out more content. No one's decoded more propaganda. No one's helped more people learn a skill to see through the lies. But anyway, after about a year of starting my work, that's when the flat earth thing came around. And when the flat earth thing came around, almost automatically, I lost a bunch of people that were helping me out. And then all of a sudden, people helping me out started to call me shill. You know, a channel like Russian Vids, who was one of the first people to start sharing my gematria work. And you know what? What I've noticed Russian Vids is doing lately? Pay attention in his videos when he shares gematria. He's using some calculator, but he's keeping the source of it off the screen, and he's just showing you the number outlay, and he's saying a bunch of words sum to 33 that do not, such as Apollo. I just saw this video where he said all these words sum to 33. Not a single one of those words sum to 33. Russian Vids, anyway, also began making videos about me, calling me a shill, and then in the private was messaging me saying, if you take on the flat earth, I'll take down these videos of you saying you're a shill. Just think about that. Why is somebody going to go out of their way and call me a shill just because I don't believe as they do in this belief-based flat earth theory? You know, look at Russian Vids versus me. What does he do? He steals other people's content. He doesn't create anything himself. He just takes other people's content and pushes out videos. He has ads on them. He's making money off all of these things. And for someone who's here for profit and attention and for ad dollars, if I was that person, I'd be pushing flat earth, because flat earth gets a lot of views. More views or more dollars when you have ads on your channel. Flat earth gets a lot of subs. When you got more subs, more likes, your views get more views. You get even more views. You get even more ad dollars. Anyway, just look at Russian Vids. This is a pathetic human being. This is someone who pushes the flat earth belief lie, the Psy-Op. Look at his work on my house. What a moron is he? What kind of fucking moron is Russian Vids? He put out 2 videos saying that a car crashing into my house is a hoax, which it's not. And he put out the second video after I did a video releasing the police report, putting out my address, showing people what's been going on in my life for speaking truth. He puts out a video after that, completely ignores the police report, completely ignores all the things that I showed about how the home's knocked off the foundation on 2 walls, which I showed with the camera. He just puts out another video regurgitating all the same things. You know, Russian Vids is a sick fuck. More than a year ago, I put out a video reaching out to people who've contacted me saying they're suicidal. I put out a video for all the people who feel suicidal to remind them why they're important, why they're needed, why they shouldn't feel so depressed, why they got to stay strong, how truth seekers are so important and so rare. What did he do with that video? He took a small clip of that video and said I was a Satanist who was against the flat earth, and I didn't think Bill Hicks was Alex Jones. And I don't think Bill Hicks is Alex Jones. I think that's absurd as well. But I mean, just who does that? Why not share my video reminding all the people who are feeling hopeless and suicidal? I gave them a positive message. And I reached a young man who'd called me recently, and you know, that video helped him out a lot. That video helped out a lot of people. Russian Vids and Dave Johnson, who pushed the flat earth belief psyop, they both attacked me for that video. And they both claim to be Christian and about Jesus. These people are satanic sick fucks. And so are a lot of other people pushing flat earth and shilling and deceiving you for dollars. If you guys want to align with Dave Johnson and Russian Vids and all the people who dupe you with the flat earth so that they can sell you more ad dollars, you know, there's a word for people like you: sheep. Sheep raised for the slaughter, raised to be exploited. Let's read these 2 comments real quick. Joe Schmo writes, "Hey truthers, this is why Zach Hubbard is the real deal." Several people wrote comments like this, but for every comment like this, there's about 10 comments attacking me for not supporting the flat earth psyop, which so many of you have been deceived by. Again, it's this quote. Even if flat earth was real, this argument needs to be saved for a different day. It's no different than how the powers at hand divide us on abortion and other things that aren't relevant at the time. You know, every election cycle, so many people vote for the Republican Party because they claim to be the pro-life party. But what these people who vote based on that way don't realize is the Republicans create more and more laws every time they're in power to create more and more poverty, and it's people in poverty who mostly get abortions. So Republicans in power will mean more abortions statistically. It always does. But look, people vote for that party because they think they're the pro-life party, even though the Republicans don't do anything about abortion. We need to concentrate on going after the banker tyrants and those doing the dirty work for them. We're wasting our time arguing about bullshit, truthers. Let's concentrate on the scumbags poisoning us every day, dividing us and destroying us. I would love to see more energy spent on the obvious things like chemtrailing. When he say this is destroying us, truth seekers, he's talking about the flat earth theory. The flat earth theory was sent here to destroy us. Distract, divide, discredit. That's what the flat earth theory is about. There is no evidence that the earth is flat. It is an illogical argument. There is no reasoning from any of the people pushing it for how the sun and moon orbit. You know, the flat earth theory agrees that the sun and moon are spheres and they orbit, but then they want to say that the earth couldn't be a sphere and it's not orbiting. I mean, it's just a nonsensical, it's just fighting over nonsense. So then there's this comment. There's lots of comments like this. Either flat earth is true or it's a Psy-Op designed to waste people's time. Zach is apparently too stupid to realize the earth is flat. I mean, just look at how this person writes. I mean, their first sentence, understand I used to be a teacher. I used to tutor people all through college. The way he wrote this first sentence, it doesn't mesh up with his second sentence. It almost sounds like he himself isn't sure about the flat earth. But then he writes, Zach is apparently too stupid to realize the earth is flat, or is paid to provide damage control for the powers that be, NASA. Again, who's exposed NASA more than me? I've exposed NASA with irrefutable proof that NASA lies and creates its information by the numbers. NASA is run by Freemasons. Freemasons are here to control. All of you crediting the heliocentric model to the Freemasons, that's not true. They say Pythagoras was the first Freemason and they credit the spherical earth to him, but that's all bullshit. So many things are credited to Pythagoras who might not have even existed. The truth is, we don't know how many people in the ancient past thought the earth was spherical. We don't really know that much about the ancient world. In modern times, we're made to think that the ancients weren't as bright as us and we're greater. That's obviously all propaganda. The people living now on this earth, we're the people in the dark. We've been lied to about everything. And that's why so many of you think that the earth can be flat. As ridiculous as it is. So anyway, Zach is apparently too stupid to realize the earth is flat or is paid to provide damage control. I'm not providing any damage control for the powers that be or NASA. I'm exposing them better than anyone is, and with real information that's verifiable. You can't verify the earth's flat. None of you can. You know, go out to your flat earth map, go out to the most distant corner and drive out to the ice wall that supposedly surrounds the earth and film it. You can't because it doesn't exist. Or he's too stupid to realize he's fallen for the Psy-Op. No, I haven't fallen for the Psy-Op. That's why so many people are against me. That's why shills like Russian Vids and Dave J, who are paid to be here, slander me because I go against it. It's too bad that so many of you have been pulled into the shill camp. So many of you have been sucked into the Psy-Op. I'm trying to help you guys out. And I'm not afraid if I'm going to lose subscribers or get thumbs down. You know, I'm going to speak truth no matter what. I've said that before. I could be the only man in a room of 1 million people speaking my point, and I'm not going to be persuaded by the masses if I know they're wrong. Just like I know all of you are wrong about this flat earth Psy-Op. Very clear it's wrong. It's very clear a lot of you weren't that bright in school, that you struggled, your critical thinking skills aren't there, because there's no other type of people getting sucked into the flat earth Psy-Op. You know? Here's the fact of the matter. You guys, I breezed through school my whole life, got scholarships, worked jobs, saved up money, built my own way. You know, I have a lot of skills. I have a lot of talents. I can't do everything. I don't understand everything. But compare me to the average man, and it's a big gap between us. You know, a lot of people put out videos saying I'm a shill because no way could one man produce all these blog posts and videos. All the videos made saying that about me are wrong. I've done all my work on my own. I've worked my ass off. Plus, I paid the bills in my own life, supported my girlfriend, helped out my mother. I've been working my ass off for more than 3 years. That's the fact. No one's backing me. No one's helping me out. I got nothing but haters in my life. You know? Nobody supports me. I do this because it's the right thing to do. So anyway, people like this, Scott Merrow, I've never seen this guy post here before. Every time I make a flat earth video, all these people come out of the woodwork and post all these negative comments. And something else that I see happen with all of the flat earth videos I make. I see in clumps the likes, you know, the thumbs up. I see them disappear by groups of 5 and 10 at a time. And I see those groups go to the dislike all at once. Now, why would YouTube be doing that? Anyone who knows what YouTube's about knows they suppress stats, manipulate stats. What they do on my flat earth videos is they take the likes and add them to the dislike video. The last flat earth video I made showing what's wrong with the Psy-Op, it had a lot more likes than dislikes after the first day, but then it changed. All of a sudden it had less likes and way more dislikes. Why is YouTube suppressing channels that speak against the flat earth Psy-Op? Meanwhile, all the videos made about the flat earth, they get tons of views, they get tons of likes. Anyone who's awake knows that YouTube's not trying to help spread truth. They suppress comments, as I've demonstrated. You know, they make it so people who spread good knowledge, their comments can't even be read. Why is YouTube encouraging the flat earth Psy-Op and then at the same time crushing the videos that expose the Psy-Op? There's a good question for you. If you have critical thinking skills, you should be able to see through the lies of the flat earth. And also, there's this, the Illuminati card game. Flat earthers. You know, this Illuminati card game has predicted a lot of the plans from the powers that shouldn't be and their ways to persuade the masses, to steer them to agenda. And it seems this flat earth Psy-Op is very much targeted at the truth community at this crucial time because of people like myself who are making huge finds, helping people get real knowledge to see through the lies of the day. That kind of stuff was going on before flat earth came. There was all this beautiful research on 9/11, a lot of people waking up to what's going on with our food, our skies, so much more. And then all of a sudden flat earth came, this new religion that has claimed a lot of people. And a lot of people, I mean, just look. Anytime you make a flat earth video, it's just like a religion. You don't believe in my flat earth religion? Then F you. And look at the last video I just put out, you guys. Not a single person is willing to take on the fact that Eric Dubé lied to make his model of the flat earth. You know, he grossly overstated distances, everything, to falsify his model of the flat earth. And none of you even want to acknowledge it because you're believers. You're just willing to take on the lies and go along with it. You know, you'll accept the lies from people in your belief camp. Just like how people will accept the lies from the TV about 9/11. Flat earth theory, a belief-based system, 100%. You can't convince a believer of anything. It's easier to fool people than to convince them that they have been fooled. All right, truth seeker. Until next time.